Okay. So what are you here to talk about, Cami?
Your show, The Long Con.
And you are?
And I'm Cami.
This is Cami Kaos. She's the executive producer for Long Con.
Oh my God, thank goodness. Now I know my title.
She's got
Fantastic.
executive rank. And we are talking about this new podcast format that I'm starting, continuing, rebooting. Long form conversations with people. But we're only just testing equipment, so I figured I would get some other stuff done while we were chatting. So
Make me some breakfast.
I will, but I need to get the pork going first. So
okay.
I think if if the video works and seems like it's entertaining, then we'll keep the video going, and if it doesn't, we'll just release this as audio only.
Okay. I want to talk about some logistics because you're already producing one weekly show.
Yeah.
Which you also star in.
Right.
And write and edit.
Right.
And so now,
is?
and I was actually going to try to get you to start doing Mildly Interesting People with me again.
Oh, nice. I didn't see this. I didn't know. Breaking news.
I didn't know that I was the executive producer for The Long Con. We're both learning new things.
What do executive producers do anyway?
I don't know, but
they show up, eat from the craft table. And
it's going to make me bossy.
Maybe we can learn from that Seth Rogen thing.
I like the Seth Rogen show.
Yeah. The Studio.
On
Apple TV.
If you, I want to go back and watch the first episode with Martin Scorsese again. Because
no spoiler alert.
All I'm saying is Martin Scorsese is in it.
Yeah.
And that lives rent free in my brain now.
Nice.
All right, so production meeting. I know we have the first two.
Wait, let's go back. I'm glad to hear folks are tuning in to hear about the Long Con, but I'm quite curious to hear about the fact that we're rebooting Mildly Interesting People.
Oh, we didn't talk about that?
No.
I wanted to make sure that I was really ready and on the upswing and prepared to commit to our podcast again.
Just feeling better, you mean?
Yeah, health-wise, mental health-wise, having an understanding.
Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about what you were struggling with, or do you want to just leave that for another time?
I mean, we could that could be an actual episode of the Long Con.
Maybe that should be an episode of Long Con.
Let's have that be an episode of Long Con, but
mental health.
But yeah, I had what was initially thought to be a nervous breakdown and then was later revealed to be an autistic breakdown. That's the long and short of that.
Okay.
And I feel better now.
Okay.
And so I want to start our show again because I really liked it. I don't know that we have to interview. I want it to be something that we can just play with. I want it to be a fun little project for us.
Okay.
Because
So more like the cinematic vlog stuff, or
Yeah, but I want us to I want us to do some voiceover stuff in addition to just the cinematic vlog stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's some talking that could be done. I really think that this would be a good home for your statue, etc. interview process.
Oh, yeah. Our Portland landmark.
Yeah. And I think I just don't want to lock us into one format. I want us to still be able to do interviews.
Yeah.
We know some interesting people.
Fair. And I mean, there are people that, the Long Con, I think, is more about my relationships that I've built throughout.
It's a businessy thing.
No, but I don't want people to get into business stuff per se.
Okay.
I think when we do, when I'm what do you want to talk about? I think some people will want to pitch what they're working on or what they're most excited about, which is fine. But I really want stories of these people and why they do what they do and what's going on with them behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff.
You want to create little mini audio memoirs.
Or something.
And stuff. I think that's a departure from the way that you have interviewed people in the past because you really tend to shy away from personal lives.
But how do you, it's true. And I'm not going to force anybody to go into personal stuff.
No, I know you'd never force anyone to, but
how do you fill an hour just talking about business bullshit.
Oh, well, I mean,
that's not interesting.
I know some, well, okay, not interesting, fair. I know some people who could easily do that. 6 hours even, but I like that you're branching out. That was not a critique. I was noting that that is something that you have strayed away from. And not only, I mean, you stray away from it as a person, but because of that, I think you avoid asking people those more personal questions when you're interviewing them.
Yep.
So I think this is an interesting direction, and I like it.
Cool. Well, yeah, because I mean, I think one of the things that my brain does is like remembers situations where I met people or where they really crystallized that they were part of my life and circle stuff. And so I kind of want to go back to some of those points too and be like, what's changed since then? Like, well, and obviously, why do you do what you do? Why are you motivated to do what you do?
Yeah.
But,
and did what they do might not be business, is what you're comfortable talking to people about their hobbies and their lives and
right. Like there's some people who no longer business in a like way that's
but they're still so freaking cool.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That, yes.
Are you gonna get Linda on soon? Speaking of people who are semi-retired and so freaking cool.
Also, and I think this is something that one of my first guests, which I won't reveal.
I'm avoiding saying those names.
Don't say any potential guest names.
I just did.
Well, you do. I mean, that's fine. Like people who are further out, but like our first couple, like it's dawning on me that well, I haven't even explained the gimmick. So let me get.
Hey, Rick.
Let me get back to explaining the gimmick.
Why don't you tell us about the long con?
So the long con, the premise is that we used to do the show called Mildly Interesting People that featured kind of interviews with people, and it was really fun and entertaining, and it was like this group dynamic, good conversation that I really enjoyed. But what dawned on me is most all of those we had to do virtually. There are people who don't live in Portland, or we don't travel to where they live on a regular basis, and so it really, as much as I enjoyed listening to it, watching it felt like being on yet another virtual Zoom call that I had to sit on with people talking and talking heads. And so with the long con, what dawned on me is I want to have these conversations in person, face to face with people. Like I don't want these to be Zoom call, Google Meet kind of engagements, no matter how great that software is. Like I love Riverside. It's super, like it's slick and smooth, and I enjoy using that format in certain ways. But the important part of this to me is to like get real people in real life talking about real stuff.
I want to interject here because I would say about 75% of the reason that I had to stop doing the mildly interesting stuff was because it was, I don't want to use the word triggering, but doing those Zoom video calls to record with people, especially people that a lot of those are folks that I'm really close to.
Yeah.
It was depressing, and it made me feel like I was distant rather than feeling like we were a part of something together.
Right.
And in our previous interview shows experience, I've always been there face to face with people, and it feels much more natural to me. So I understand completely where you're going and why. Okay. I think it's great.
Okay, I'm going to make some noise here, so this will help me determine how much background noise I can deal with on any given basis.
Wow. That was noise.
Yep. So, and more noise, just to see how this shows up. I've already tested this one once, but we will see. We'll see how magic that removing background noise software is. But the other aspect of sitting in person, and it kind of happened with the first guest, and then when it totally happened with the second guest in terms of their suggestions about where they wanted to meet to shoot.
I'm really excited about
I was like
those things I'm not going to say.
not only does it have to be in real life, face to face with people, longer form interview, but ideally it's happening somewhere that's an important place to them. So for Linda, I immediately, it's
her
got
garden.
to happen in her garden.
Yeah.
That's an important place to her. And that's where we should be having that conversation.
So what you're saying is the long-awaited happy hour that we owe her is going to turn into an interview instead?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. I'm
just saying that
we can do them separately, please.
Yes, and
awesome.
Like maybe the happy hour is me spending time in the space and getting used to it and
nice
doing that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Do you feel like you need to be comfortable in a space before you're comfortable interviewing someone in it?
Not necessarily, but I mean, here in the early going, like we're testing the equipment because I don't know how this is going to work equipment-wise.
Right.
Like I think it'll work. I'm pretty sure it'll work, but I mean, I want to make sure that production-wise, I feel like it doesn't have to be perfect. It can still be rough.
But it's got to be better.
I feel like it has to have a certain caliber to it. Otherwise, why?
Right.
Why are you doing it?
That makes sense.
These people are important to me and valuable to me, and I want to make sure I'm doing them justice in terms of the content we're capturing. Also, if you happen to be a vegetarian or vegan, I apologize. I'm cooking meat, so just don't.
He's cooking meat in meat.
Don't pay attention to what's happening back here.
So how many do you have booked? Just the two that I know about?
2 booked and a couple in process in terms of scheduling. I've got a whole Kanban Notion set up for like where people are and like in the process and all that kind of stuff for tracking. But obviously there's just a laundry list of people whom I want to speak that I'm trying to figure out.
Nice. So when is the first recording, without telling us who it is?
This week. I have 2 recordings this week.
2 recordings this week. And how far out are you from a place where you have 7 people booked?
How far out am I from a spot where I have what?
7 people booked.
Why 7?
Because it's my favorite number, and because I like to make sure that there's enough consistency that you have stuff in the can, because the hardest part, usually with you, is getting over that. You get the first few, and then you hit a little lull around 4.
Yeah.
Where you're not as excited. So 7 gets you over that hump.
Well, I'm hoping that with this one, there's not much of an editing issue. Like, I kind of want this to be, not that I want to, like, do gotchas or, like, have things go off the rails, but I'm also, like, I want this to be real. And I don't want people to be nervous. Like, the beauty of the interviews we did with mildly interesting people is we could go off the rails because people were like, oh, they'll just edit that out, or I can ask them to take that away.
And actually, before every single episode, we told people that was the case.
Right. And this one, I just want to balance it with, like, this is going to be real, and everything we talk about, I want you to go as deep as you're comfortably going, but know that what's said here is going in the podcast. Like, we're not, if there may be things that we get in arguments about or that like we're in disagreement about, I'm not looking for this to be like I'm looking for this to be a real conversation with somebody I respect, who I happen to have in my life, or who would happen to be in my life at one point in time. Like, this may be one of those where, like, maybe I'm back east and I happen to know somebody who's back east, and I grab an hour with them to sit down and just chop it up on this kind of format. Yeah,
I was wondering when you were going to hit your lacrosse coach.
Head to Walla Walla. Scenic Walla Walla.
Oh my gosh, talk some more while you're making sizzling noises so we can test that out.
They can actually separate my voice from the sizzle.
Yeah, if you guys aren't hearing any sizzle at all, then the software is more impressive than I give it credit for.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, what? Oh, fucking what?
I'm going to walk really close to the camera because my computer's throwing a random message of some sort that I need to clear. So, I mean, I think like, honestly, be honest with me. Do you think that there's 45 minutes to an hour worth of content with that kind of format? If it's like, what do you want to talk about? Let's back up, provide people with context and who you are, and maybe where you and I met, and where that whole thing, where this relationship came from, and like who you are as a person and what it is you do, and then get into the topic and discuss the topic, and then see where it goes from there. That seems like an hour worth of content to me.
Okay, so the two things with you that I worry the most about are you, when you're in a structured environment, like you're moderating a panel,
Yeah.
you are great about calling time and stopping things.
Yeah.
When it's just you talking to yourself, you have no sense of time, and you just go on and on and on sometimes,
Right.
which I think is adorable, but not everyone does, and it kind of works around the content.
Well, I think we need to test that.
When you're interviewing a person that you really like, the same thing happens, but like on double. You have no desire to stop the conversation, so once you hit that hour, you're going to keep going and going and going. And I think
I'm not saying it has to be an hour.
No.
I'm just saying, is it like?
Oh, yes.
It makes no sense to me to do this, and then
this is not a short form.
And then like 20 minutes into it, people are like, "That was fun.
Right.
We're done."
But what I'm saying is there does need to be a time limit on it. An hour is a great time limit, I'm saying. I worry about your ability to stop at an hour.
Well, maybe there's just a minimum then.
Okay.
I mean, no one's under any obligation to watch it, and selfishly, a lot of this is for me to like capture those stories and be like, "Oh yeah, I'd totally forgotten about that," or whatever.
As long as you're comfortable, like, as long as you're going into it being like, it can take as long as it takes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay. Well, and it may be for some of those folks.
I just said he's long-winded.
Maybe for some of those folks where it's like, okay, pause. We'll need to do a part 2 at some point down the road, but like we can't continue to keep talking about this stuff ad nauseum.
Right. So maybe it's an hour minimum with a 2-hour maximum. And if you hit that 2 hours, you just have to be like, oh my God, we are way too interesting. We have to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about the scheduling of being able to go and be places in person to do these interviews?
Well, I feel like that's what I'm saving with the editing. I would rather do them either late afternoon or early evening kind of time periods. It's just a question if that's going to work for people's schedules.
Okay.
Because I could foresee, go out, capture the interview, come back, process it, upload it so that it's available the next day. Like, I don't see this. Part of the other problem wasn't a problem. Part of the other challenge with Mildly Interesting People is it took me hours and hours and hours to edit every single one of those episodes. Like, it took me a long time.
It wasn't fun editing, like with the videos that we do, the music, and we just show the beautiful parts of Portland.
It wasn't creative.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
It was basically like the difference between editing a manuscript and proofing a manuscript.
Yeah.
Like, it was all like, are there too many spaces here?
Can you, for the folks that don't understand the difference between editing and proofreading, can you...
Sure. Well, I mean, for me, for people who don't know, I started my career as a literary agent. I was an English major in college. The only reason I wound up working in startups was because there was somebody who needed an editor and copywriter, and they hired me. And so I appreciate you calling that out, because that's like industry jargon lingo that everybody might not understand.
Right.
But like,
and it is my mission to make these things more accessible. So
well, and everybody understands that writing is a creative process, but I don't think a lot of people understand that editing is also a creative process, and something I enjoy and I'm far better at than than writing.
I just want to say for a moment, Rick is super self-deprecating. In this particular instance, he's not actually insulting himself as a writer. He is a phenomenal editor. It's ridiculous.
And I enjoy editing, and editing to me is a creative thing. Like, you are trying to take on, it's almost like acting, like you're trying to take on someone else's voice and persona in helping them tell the stories that they want to tell. And so editing feels creative. Proofing is the act of going through content, and apparently somebody's at the front door, going through content and just making sure it is correct for publication. So it's nothing, it's still a incredibly important pursuit, but it's very much like grammar, placement, layout, those kind of, and it's really just checking for errors rather than getting the opportunity to influence the work. Whereas editing is directly influencing the work and collaborating with an author to create the best work possible.
Editors should receive credit. Proofreaders, not really. I mean, I'm not saying a proofreader shouldn't receive credit, but it's not an artistic action.
Right, and that's the thing I enjoy most about some of the like Hollywood level award stuff is they do talk about editing and how important it is and how you can make, for as great as a director's vision is, an editor can, you know, create 10 different movies out of the content that you captured when you're shooting a film.
For some reason, I often equate editors with translators, because my favorite author for most of my life is a Japanese writer, so everything I've read by him has been translated by someone.
Right.
And the translations can just vary so wildly.
Yeah.
And it's the same as, I mean, the person is really creating prose in another language with the original language serving as intent. So.
Right.
Sorry.
No,
Very interesting topic. Let's talk more about you.
No, it's not. So, but yeah, to my point, like, I don't want this to be, I want the lift of this to be spending time with people, not editing video. Like, I enjoy editing video. It's fun, and it takes me back to my Flash days, but really, I would rather not spend a ton of time editing these videos.
So from your partner perspective, like, the idea of adding yet another show is stressful.
Yeah.
That being said, you are incredibly respectful about the time that it takes. I worry more about you have a lack of alone time.
Yeah.
And I worry that it takes away from that. So if you say it takes away from my alone time, but it's a hobby I love, then yay. I just want you to, look out for signs of fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it.
And that's what an executive producer does, apparently.
Apparently. What other things have we not thought through for this? Like, I think it happens, I mean, it just goes on my existing YouTube setup. I've already... On the
Turoczy channel?
Yeah, and it's got a separate playlist, so, like, if people just want that content, they can just follow that playlist, and they can subscribe to YouTube podcasts, but then it also has a separate, like, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm not going to do all the podcast platformy kind of stuff, because no one really listens to my stuff on other platforms anyway. So it's just a matter of uploading it to my central service that blasts it out to all the things. And
so what's your frequency look like?
It's sporadic at this point.
Okay.
I think it's at least every 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
I think, to your point, that I think is a very good critique of my production, is I'm one of those people who, like, once something's done, I need to get it out there. I wrote this thing, I need to publish it kind of person.
Yes, you are.
And I think if we can, as executive producer, if you can help me focus on, yeah, that's recorded and in the can, and look at this, it's not going to release for 4 weeks. Like, you need to help me be comfortable.
I am so happy to hear you say that, and I'm totally happy to help you be comfortable with that, because as much as I want stuff to get out right away, every time I talk to anyone who's starting a podcast, the first thing I tell them is that they need to bank a few episodes first.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's already enough momentum on the channel that, like, I want to start getting these out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I've already done the teaser.
But start getting the first one out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we're already doing this, which will obviously, if it works, go as content on there. And, like, I just I need to get this going.
Good. It sounds like it's something that's making you happy, and that.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay, you're never really happy, but it's something positive and creative that you are seeking to fill your time with.
Yeah.
And that's better than just sitting there staring at a wall.
Right.
Anything else you want to talk about from a production standpoint?
I mean, I don't know. I would love to hear, like, what are, like, you've been really helpful on the weekly recap stuff on, like, oh, this worked, or, like, you really screwed up here, or, like, this would be better if you did it this way. Like, what are things I need to, like, pay attention to, keep an eye out for? Like, what should I be thinking of as I'm starting this thing, production wise, or the way I do things?
This is something that I kind of struggle with. I'm not sure the nicest way to say it. You and I share in common that we don't have a joy or like of small talk.
Yeah.
Or people who are just going to be there promoting the same thing over and over again. You and I would always rather have an honest conversation.
Right.
Because it's far more interesting.
Yeah.
When people go off the rails and they are talking about the bullshit, you, especially with people that you know and are close to, you are not comfortable being like, you're full of shit.
Right.
And those are the worst episodes. The episodes where people are like, I've come here to promote this one thing and this is what I'm going to talk about. And as they're talking to you, you can hear that they have scripted it.
Yeah.
And, like, for some people, that's exactly what they need to do in order to be comfortable. I'm not trying to... I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad about how they prepare.
Right.
But I'm saying, as an interviewer, it sucks when you can't get the best out of somebody. And I think that you just let them not be their best rather than poke at trying to get them to actually engage.
Okay.
That was a very circuitous...
I need to be more focused on keeping them on track. Is that what you're saying?
You need to keep them on... It's not that... Well, yes, you do need to keep people on track, and that is...
Or
you're fine with that. What
I need specific guardrails that I'm like... I need to be aware, because what I wind up doing, because this is the other thing I also hate, when it's when the questions are all, like, planned. Like, you know me, I do research on people.
Right.
Like, I understand the people, but I hate when it's like, I'm not really listening to your response to this question because I'm already thinking about the next question.
Right.
I need to ask you.
Right.
Like,
that's not a conversation.
Right. Exactly. I don't want this to be an interview. I want it to be conversation. So I think this is just part of that, like, as I'm involved in the conversation, being acutely aware of when people are trying to make it into a promotional effort or an interview.
And part of the problem with that, and if you can handle it gently, it's the best situation. People often don't know that that's what they're doing.
Right.
I mean, especially for someone who's not comfortable being interviewed.
Yeah.
It is easier to just go really tightly with what you know.
Yeah.
And as a society, we're trained to only talk about what you know. And I feel like the most interesting conversations come up from the stuff that people aren't as secure on.
Right.
Not in a got you, you're in, like, let's bring out your insecurities sort of way, but like the important stuff is already talked about.
Right. So some of the people, especially some of the people who are kind enough to be like, oh shit, you're doing something new. I want in. I want to help you. I want to support what you're doing.
Yeah.
So obviously there are people that I'm close to who are going to be among the first guests, but like I don't want that hour to be the same stuff that people always talk about with
Exactly.
those people. Like
Exactly.
one of the angles I've been thinking about, and I wanted to push this by you because if it lands with you, then maybe there's something there. Like being an athlete was incredibly important to me, and I'm always intrigued by other people in my sphere who are athlete, but we never talk about their role as an athlete or like what they did. And like, so like when I encounter that kind of stuff, I'm going to lean into that and I'm going to be like, here's what I did and here's why I think I did it. What motivated you and what have you brought from that lived experience to today? Like, how has that influenced the person you are today? Like, I think there's something interesting there that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. You hear people talking to athletes about being athletes, but you don't hear a lot about like, you're a wholly different person from that persona that you
You're
were.
the executive creative director, but you used to...
Yeah, you used to be a professional, like, you used to be an Olympic level athlete kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's something interesting there, too. But I wasn't sure if that had...
No, I think that's really interesting. And I think that's one of those... It is one of the few personal details that I think everyone knows about Rick.
What, that I'm a dumb jock?
Yes, that you're a dumb jock. That is the persona of yourself that you are most comfortable pushing in public.
Well, it's true.
Yes, because multiple things are true of people. But yes, you are a dumb jock. It's delightful, actually. But I think that's a good common bonding point that you have with a lot of folks that I know are in your circles.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, what other... Well, maybe this is another way to ask the same question. Like, what other... You already made the point. Like, I don't want to get, like, personal with people.
And if you get personal with them, they're going to ask you personal questions.
Yeah, which is not my jam.
Yeah.
But, like, what personal aspect? Like, their upbringing? Like, what's interesting to other people?
I would love for your listeners to tell us what's interesting, because what's interesting to me might not be interesting to other people. I really love to dive into someone's background and to the earliest version of who they are and how that has translated through to who they are now. And that part of that is maybe just the phase I'm going through in life.
Yeah.
But I'm always really interested in the journey that someone took to be the person that they are. I mean, yay for who they are, but that journey is always the part that's so incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I always have this feeling that, like, our teenage selves are somewhat in a witness protection program now.
Yeah.
Like that people don't really embrace that part of their lives as formative as it was. They either avoid it because of all the trauma that they experienced throughout that portion of their life, or they're just not cognizant of how influential that time was for them. And, like, you know, there's so many people who are, like, influenced by a high school teacher or a middle school teacher or whatever, that, like, that's an important part, or a coach, that's an important part of their life. Where
you mean the English teacher who told me I was amazing at writing and I thought that I was awful at it? What?
I mean, like, No, and that's not. Take me back to your Saved by the Bell days is not something that most conversations kind of get into. I think I'm doing the little usual thing I do where I'm like,
you're overthinking it.
No, be contrary. Like, if this is the way most things do it, and that's becoming like played out and flat, then how do we take a contrary perspective to?
So
what do you want to talk about? They tell me, well, I don't want to talk about that.
Right.
So here's what we're going to talk about.
I think part of it also is people get up. Let me go get on a woman soapbox for a moment.
Okay.
Often it is very upsetting for women in media or wherever in life. The first questions are always, oh my God, what are you wearing? Oh my God, who's watching your child? You're like always having that personal conversation.
Right.
And from an outsider perspective, that's a huge microaggression, and it's really unpleasant. But oftentimes when women talk with each other, those are the conversations that we're having. We're talking about the personal parts of our lives and how they impact the rest of our lives.
But it's different.
And men tend to steer away from that.
Yeah.
Not all men tend to steer away from that.
All men.
Not all men. You tend to steer away from that, and I feel like this is your chance to get to experience a much more positive side of friendship that toxic masculinity has prevented men from seeing or having for years.
Yeah. Well, I also I almost interrupted you. I'm sorry, but the other aspect of that I think
oh my God, an aspect
is important to recognize is there's a difference between having those conversations with somebody you perceive as an equal or a peer, and having those conversations where there's some weird power
parasocial, yeah. Oh, power dynamic, yes. I thought you were talking about parasocial relationships again.
No. Well, and that's the other thing.
Because that's easy to abuse is the problem.
That's something else I'm trying to figure out is there are people who I have extensive relationships with and have worked with for years and years and years as part of the startup community, and there are people who have only been fleeting kind of I know them, and if we see one another, we're cordial and know one another, but I don't spend a ton of time with them. And to me, unfortunately, that seems like more of the people I should be looking to have conversations with to truly deepen that relationship. But another facet of that is is that only interesting to me, or are those things that other people want to see as well?
I don't know how to answer that question, because I think it's obviously interesting if you think about that pertaining to your own life. I can think of tons of people, especially in the Portland startup and tech community, that I've seen at events 100 times,
right,
and just never talked to for either it didn't work out, or I was not feeling able to communicate at that time. I don't know if it will be interesting to other people,
right,
to pull that out. And in that situation, you don't know what you're going to get,
yeah,
because you don't know them well enough. You don't know, it might be a great interview, or it might be a really difficult one.
Right.
So I would keep your people that you know are going to be a hit, and intersperse them with new discoveries.
Okay.
Because you're going to run out of people you know eventually. You're the kind of person that just shows up and just keeps doing it.
That's the one danger of me. I'm not changing this rule.
I know.
Everybody needs to be in person. But the one danger of that is at some point, I either need to pay to travel somewhere to talk to someone,
right,
or I need to invite them to come to Portland or whatever. Like, I think there's just...
And where are you going to record if you have someone come to Portland? You're going to have to find a place to do that too, and that's going to be stressful.
Right. But I don't feel like I don't feel like distance is enough reason to...
I think you're buying problems, that you don't have yet. You could do this show for a good 2 years.
Yeah, but is that... I mean, I guess that's interesting to people in Portland, but, like, who else? Apart from, like, internet famous people that I happen to know, like... Is that terribly... But I guess I could go up to Seattle, and that's an easy trip, and I could...
Hop on the train. I am trying to get up there more frequently.
People while I was up there or whatever. I mean, I guess that's an option.
We could go... I mean... remember when we used to do the mini podcast interviews from events, and we would just set up somewhere in a spare room or a corner of the conference hall. I think that there's a good opportunity for you to do something like that, although if it's not comfortable, it might be shorter format.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, as part of a larger event, it's really hard to do long form interview. It
is, and I mean, speaking for myself, the last thing I want to do when I am in event mode is have to have a conversation and actually be myself.
Right.
I need to not be.
I need to be on.
I need to not be soft and sensitive when I'm at an event that lasts several days.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, I'm creating a problem where no problem exists right now, but there will be a problem in the future.
If it continues to go well, it is a problem that I welcome solving with you.
Yeah. Just need to get that Alaska Air sponsorship and any of those.
Alaska Airlines, Portland's favorite or some shit. I don't know.
Any of those, both of us. Both the host and the guest, we just fly to Hawaii to record it.
Only if you're taking the executive producer.
I'll need some production assistance.
I mean, it would be a hardship, but it is why we have not gotten a new pet.
Exactly. Let's talk about guest balance, because I mean, I'm also concerned about, like, this would be really easy to just do a bunch of dudes and like, my first thought,
knowing the two people that are booked, is first of all, obviously, and secondly, dude bro. Dude, I love these particular dude bros, but
right, I know. And I guess the best thing I can say is that I'm conscious of that, and like, if I can get ahead on production, there's less likelihood of that happening. But one of the things I hate most about guest-based interviews, and I hate that peer pressure forced me to do this, is like, you add another person to the mix and scheduling becomes exponentially more difficult. Like, I think the only reason I've been so good and so consistent for 18 months on the weekly recaps is all it involves is you putting up with me going downstairs and recording. Like, I'm taking time away from you and spending time with you, but it's not like it has to happen. We scheduled it for this time, and it has to happen. We can kind of play it by ear, and it's like, oh, well, it's 9:00 and I haven't got the recording done. I have to run downstairs and do it or whatever. But that's wholly different than trying to schedule time with someone.
Right. And that, I mean, that part bothers me. I remember that from how many years did I have people down in the basement every Friday night.
Right.
It was exhausting, and it took a toll on all sorts of things.
Yep. And
included my kid, like, sneaking down the stairs to spy on interviews.
Right.
So I think it's one of those things. Let's set metrics. What do you consider to be a success for this? Or what would be something that popped up that made you just say, no, this isn't worth it?
The success would be, how do I celebrate people who don't get the attention that I believe they deserve, or that people like from other communities could benefit from knowing these people. So it's really like the success metrics are what they've always been. Like, how many people are watching it? Like, how engaged are they? Is it entertaining? Are they coming back week after week?
Yeah.
Like, are these guests to whom I'm speaking, are they getting more people reaching out to them, or like, are they getting engaged in new and interesting ways? Like, that's super important to me.
Okay.
Too. So it's kind of two things. It's one, from a community standpoint, are these folks getting more exposure, and then from a metric standpoint is like, are they seeing more support for the work they do, be it customers or like volunteers or whatever.
What I'm hearing you say, and what I think that you are doing, are kind of different. You get really tied up in numbers.
Yeah.
And you get really angry when they don't grow quickly. And I worry that you setting that very different, like, your primary focus in any situation is to highlight the greatness of whoever else is in the room.
Right.
Like, that is what you do. You're like the spotlight operator of the soul.
Right.
So, I just lost my train of thought.
Well, so what is your concern if I'm obsessed with metrics?
Oh, my concern is that this is a way of you avoiding the metrics that you're actually going to look at by saying that it's about someone else.
Oh.
You're making everything about what you're doing a benefit to someone else, and I want to know what is a success metric for you. Not for someone else, for Rick.
I mean, for me, the biggest one is just capturing this stuff. Like,
then good.
We're so anecdotal about everything,
right,
that, like, selfishly, I want to have these stories preserved in a way that, like, if I forget, or I can go back and reference, or like somebody else is like looking for additional like context or whatever, like.
The Instant Pot is really testing the noise filter for us.
We will see how it does.
Well, how long have we been talking?
I don't know. I need to go look at the computer.
This better not count as my episode.
This felt like a good production meeting, though.
It did feel like a good production meeting.
We've been talking for 47 minutes.
47 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
you've got your personal metric of success is just capturing the stories, and I love that.
It's
what?
Like how many different stories can I capture per year?
Okay. And then what's the thing that what are you afraid will happen with this? Is there something that would make you just be like, fuck that?
No. I mean, I think the thing I'm afraid of, and I don't foresee myself falling victim to this, but I think the thing I am conscious of and concerned that I don't allow to happen is get into a situation where it just becomes a chasing ratings and views thing, where it's like,
I'm afraid of.
I've never really met this person, like, but they want to be on the show, so I'm going to sit down and talk with them. That seems inauthentic, and it also seems like doing it for the wrong reasons. I feel like there needs to be some prior, like, relationship there, and that may happen where it's like, that may force me out of my shell and be like, this is somebody I would really like to have on the show at some point in the future, but I need to meet them and understand whether they're really somebody I want to have on the show or not.
I think that's a good thing to be aware of, and I'm glad you are.
food.
All right, so this was the
You're
first.
a pressure cooker, not a pressure reliever.
This was the first production meeting.
Yes.
Should we continue to record the production meetings for this?
I think so. Like, I mean, I really want people to, all of my stuff is like not based on like, how do I figure out how to do this so I can have this thing and have it be secret to people? It's like, how do I do something and then be like, hey, if you thought this was difficult, it's really no more challenging than doing just this and just do this. And like, this is how I did it. It's not the right way, but it's a way, and it's a way of getting started. And maybe it's not as scary or challenging as you think it would be or could be. So I like the behind the scenes stuff. I'm comfortable with being transparent about like the critical feedback you're providing, or like if I really screw up on a show and you're like, this was bad, like this is what you did wrong. Like, I think that's helpful to me and helps me grow. I don't think I'll be as comfortable if you do like, that last show was just amazing and great. And
I mean, I do that on Friday mornings.
Right.
When your show doesn't suck.
Right. The few times it hasn't actually sucked, you do.
You get very uncomfortable when I'm just like, no notes, great show. You just
say nice things, but yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to think that the behind the scenes stuff often has as much, if not more, value than the actual production itself.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to get a lay of the land.
Okay.
So that gives you 3 episodes a month, basically. You've got the 2 every other week episodes.
Yeah.
And then 1 production episode.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
And you don't have to be on camera for the production episode.
I can be like Oz.
Yeah. You're just behind the scenes, behind the curtain kind of thing. All right. Well, I feel like I'm making way too much background noise. So
and I'm hungry.
Okay. So I'll continue to keep working on breakfast, and thanks for making time for the production meeting, and we'll see how this whole video thing turns out.
I was going to say I'm glad it worked out, but I realized that this was the test, so we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see if it actually worked.